Good day, Winston Salem. My name is Tracy Meisner, and this is Winston Salem in Business. And we explore businesses in and around the Triad area to bring you what they do, and more importantly, who owns and runs the businesses. Today, we're talking with Alex Gutierrez, the owner of IKAG Construction Services. And let's get started. Let's get started with the name of your company. How did you come up with that name?
Well, everybody kind of always, they're asking like, hey, do you know somebody who can do this or somebody who can do that? And I learned a decent amount of different areas of the trade, so it was always kind of like I know a guy.
I know a guy. And if you had to sum up, what does your business do?
So typically we do decks, covered porches, screened-in porches. We do a lot of structural wood repair under house. It's like joists, girders, all that kind of stuff that may have like water or termite damage. And then we do remodels, mostly kitchen, bath, and then we've done a lot of basement remodels as well.
Excellent. When did you start your company?
So we started officially in March of 2020, so just as the pandemic was hitting.
Wow. Talk about timing. Why? Why did you start the business?
I started the business. I was in construction on and off for multiple years. And to be honest, I kind of got tired of working for other people. I saw some areas that I didn't necessarily agree with how things were handled from other businesses. And I know that from a personal standpoint, I would have handled them more customer centric. And so that's what really prompted me to be like, okay, I'd like to do this my way so everybody gets the benefit of it.
Excellent. What would you say is the most difficult part about starting your business?
The most difficult part about starting the business, for me personally, I think was overcoming and getting traction as a new business owner who wasn't necessarily widely known, and I feel like that first initial hump that I had to get over was like, hey, this is a young kid. What does he know about construction? That kind of thing. You immediately kind of get those questionable responses.
I totally get it. Did you have a plan when you started? Like, I want to be this in 3 years or this in 5 years?
When I started, no, not necessarily, but as I kept going, probably once we started gaining that traction, 6 months, 9 months into it or so, that's when I really started to be like, okay, this is going to be a viable option. So we started doing things as far as planning out, kind of hitting some number and some clientele goals as far as, how many people we want to be able to help per year.
Okay. I like the way you put that. How many people you want to help?
It's all about helping, honestly.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about your business?
The favorite part about it is that, I have the ability to be able to control how things are responded to. Like, let's say, for example, if a homeowner is extremely happy, I can directly reach out and be like, hey, thank you so much for choosing us. Or if a homeowner's not so happy, hey, let's address this. Let's find out what can we do to make this better. And that's a nice part. And then the other portion of it as well for me is being able to make my employees happy. Because I'm sure many people have this experience where you work for an employer that maybe wasn't the best as far as maybe caring, and I'd definitely take the steps, in my opinion, to try and make this a great place to work for.
Excellent. It's nice and refreshing to hear that it's about people. What advice would you give to somebody starting their own business?
Just somebody that's just starting, I would really take the time on the front end to research the field that you're looking at going into, as well as try and come up with a plan. come up with your metrics that you want to look at, come up with your key performance indicators. And that way you avoid scrambling down the road, which is kind of what we've experienced in a way. If you set up those processes on the first hand, or the first portion of starting it up, it's going to make your life a lot easier in the long run.
What's a typical, and I know owning your own business is not always typical, but a typical like work week or work day? Because I know you've got an office here in Winston.
I do.
Is there like a day that you go in and go, all I'm going to do is office work? Or is that only on a rainy day?
It's kind of hit or miss, honestly, with the office portion of it. Like I said, I recently promoted one of my foremen into the production manager and taken some steps to get him doing a couple things to take some stuff off of my plate and give a better experience. And so now I do have those days where I'm like, okay, today is the day that I run payroll and do profit and loss statements and all that kind of stuff.
Run the business.
Yeah, actually work on the business instead of in it. Yeah.
Yes. And how can our viewers and listeners get in touch with you?
Anywhere from Facebook. It would be Facebook / I Know a Guy Construction Services. We also have a website, IKAG We're on Instagram as well. And then the phone number directly to reach us is 336-800-IKAG.